Hey everyone, how's it going? So I'm here with Eden again today, and basically Eden's got a technique that I actually know nothing about. It's called
high-speed sync, and it's basically if you're shooting still photography, a lot of photographers still don't know about this, and it's a fairly new technique. It has been around for a few years, but most people don't really know about it. It's a way of shooting with your flash and going beyond 250 frames per second on your shutter speed. In order to do it, you have to use a flash that's compatible with high-speed sync. Over here we've got the Godox. It's a TT685, and we've got the special Godox trigger for it. It's called the X Pro S, and we're shooting on a Sony a7 III. So what this allows you to do is to shoot your portraits with your aperture wide open on 1.4 or 1.8, depending on what lens you have, and use the flash as well. And normally your flash would completely blow out anything that you shoot on 1.4, 1.8, but this allows you to still get the bokeh effect, so you'll be able to blur out everything in the background and use your flash as well. Basically, if you're just using a regular flash and you put your shutter speeds over 250, you get these large black bars across your picture halfway down. That's just because it's just using like a regular shutter, which has two bars which come down one after the other when you take a picture. And so what happens is you get like a big black line across half of your picture. So if you're not using a flash, you can do that fine and you won't notice any difference. But with the flash, you can't do it. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration on Panos right now, and I'll show you just how it looks. It's good as well because it gives you quite an arty effect that you wouldn't normally be able to get just using conventional flash. And it's a completely different style and technique, but it's becoming very popular at the moment, and I highly recommend everyone to give it a go.
So explain about how you actually do it.
Okay, so in order to do it, you basically need to set it up on your flash and your flash trigger. There's a high-speed sync mode, which is basically like an H with an arrow on it. You set that up on your flash trigger, and you just set your flash to the power that you want. Once you've got your camera settings dialed in to 1.4 or 1.8, you can put your shutter speed up. It's going to depend on what lighting you've got around you, but like anything over 250 basically. At the moment I've got it on 1/2000th, but you could easily go to like 1/1000 or something like that, depending on if you're indoors, outdoors, or the lighting around you. So yeah, it just allows you to shoot over 250th basically.
That's cool. I mean, how will they know if the remote has that feature?
When you're buying your remotes, it'll say on the specification sheet if it's sync speed up to 8000 for anything that's over basically 250. It will say that on the flash and on the trigger when you buy it. If you don't know which one to get and you've got a Sony, the Godox ones work really well, and they're quite cheap as well.
I don't know much about flashes, to be honest. I've only started using like big flashes quite recently, you know, like in the studio. So it's definitely a new territory for me.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of thing, it will be more focused on people doing portraits and fashion photography. If you're just shooting like product photography or something like that, you wouldn't really need it. You could still use it, but it's not really essential for most things. It's a bit of a niche. It's just if you're shooting portraits and stuff like that, you get a really cool effect. It's kind of cool to hear a fresh perspective on it as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how you feel as we're going along.
Yeah, wicked. So we're going to actually go and hit the streets and see if anyone's like basically up for getting some pictures taken with it. And Eden can show me obviously like firsthand how it kind of all works. So yeah, let's do it.
The cool thing of as well shooting with the flash, it can be indoors, outdoors. You don't really need to worry about the locations at all. So it's pretty cool wherever you are. Obviously, if you're indoors, it might be harder to get a focus point if it's like really dark and low light. Hi, excuse me, could I take a couple of photos of you?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, is that all right?
Get out of the way.
All right, nice. Could you stand up for me? Okay. Just check. Is this... at first, I think it wasn't firing for some reason, but then after a while, it just started firing, so it was fine. Yeah, I just changed the shutter speed a little bit because we're outside, so it's a bit brighter than I expected. Yeah, these are cool, man. Looking at these pictures, they come out quite nice. like the face, the eyes, everything is like exposed really well, and plus you got the background bokeh.
Nice.
It makes a big difference, like especially like if you're worried about getting dark eyes or something.
Yeah.
Literally, this stops that happening. I'm glad we're not doing 50 of these today, because this is like a lot harder than the other day. I think when you're aiming for 50, like you just get it done.
Yeah.
But when it's like,
You just aiming for 3.
excuse me, could I take some pictures of you?
If you want to.
Oh, great, thank you.
One thing I was going to say is, you know, is there any specific way you try and position your flash? Because obviously, like when I just took some of you now in the bar,
Yeah.
I was trying to create, like, obviously I'm a videographer, mainly like, you know, I kind of think of lighting in terms of video, so I always try and create like a light side and a shadow side.
Yeah, I mean,
Whereas-
one rule to keep in mind is 45 degrees. If you keep your flash at 45 degrees, pretty much from either side, that normally creates like quite a good effect. But I think of it as a bit like having a continuous studio light. You can move it around, like wherever you move it, you're going to get a completely different style of lighting.
Yeah.
So you can get a few different lighting looks in a couple of shots really quickly as well.
Yeah. But do you try and create any kind of, yeah, like say the 45 degree, what's like the reason for that? Is it create a kind of a, you mean 45 degree of the face?
45 downwards, 45 degree angle. It's like creates a light gradient. The light gradually, it starts off strong and it gradually fades downwards.
Okay. See, cool.
But you know, like straight in the face is fine as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, but obviously that can look quite like blown out, right? Or like washed out. Give it one more washed out.
Excuse me, is it okay to take some pictures of you? Sorry, that's great. It's great. Yeah, it takes a bit of like, you know, you might need to take 1 or 2 shots just to check your settings and stuff, that your flash is firing, but apart from that, it's good.
Cool, man.
High-speed sync, first time using it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not first time using a flash, but yeah, flash with such fast shutter speed.
Yeah. Also using the premium Sony 1.4 lens, the
Yeah.
new one.
So super lucky to be using this today.
Yeah.
Let's head up here. Sorry, you look incredibly cool. Is it cool if I get some stills of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
What are you taking pictures for? 5 minutes of peace and quiet.
You get pestered by us.
Got a cool style though, like, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Very great.
So like first thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was really cool. Some of them were a bit blown out, I think. But when it hit right, like some of them came a bit darker, then it looked really cool. So I definitely need to do some post though in taking some of it down. But yeah, no, I was happy with it, yeah.
Because you're shooting so quickly, the flash, it has a recharge time.
Oh.
It takes like a second or two to fire up again before you can flash. You know that if you take too many flashes in a row, it charges.
Okay.
So you just need to keep that in mind, because the flash recharge time like takes a second or two between pictures.
In all honesty though, I think that like the one where the flash didn't go, then I prefer in a way, but that's only because I was shooting on the shadow side. Like in some ways I would prefer to, like obviously when I'm doing video stuff, I'll think about putting the light, like I love backlit stuff. Not heavily backlit, so you're just getting silhouettes, but just like, you know, shadow, like maybe, like say, maybe 45 degrees from the side to, so I'd probably like, ideally want to put the flash almost behind or side, so that I'm shooting on shadow side. But
Yeah, that's a technique as well. It's like just a different lighting style. Yeah. But yeah, so that's interesting to see your first thoughts about it anyway.
yeah.
Because
I
it
think
is
I
like
need-
something completely, obviously you're gonna like what you're used to using all the time, and something new is always a bit like, you know, it's an interesting, it's not exactly gonna work how you think it is straight away.
Yeah.
It takes like a bit of getting used to it. Oh yeah, so one thing you can do as well is if you take the picture and it's too bright, just hold the flash a little bit back.
Yeah.
And if it's too dark, hold it a little bit closer.
Hey man, sorry, I'm a street photographer. Do you mind if I get some portraits of you?
Of me?
A couple, yeah.
Why?
Just to test out this lens. I've got a YouTube channel where I just test out equipment and stuff. Yeah?
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thanks. Cool, thank you so much. Cheers. How come we're a little bit better actually? It was a bit dark in places, but
The main thing is that you can shoot wide open. You can shoot like 1.4, you know, with flash.
I think I just I quite like with the well, I think without it, I quite like the more of a matte, you know, look in a way more natural. Whereas I feel like with this, sometimes you can get a bit of that like shiny skin kind of look.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's true.
And that's what I kind of struggle with, I think.
I mean, like natural light is really good. Like
Yeah.
if you get them in the right direction, but this is like kind of this is like a stylish type of light.
Sorry, man. Do you mind if I get some portraits of you, like a street photographer? I was trying to control like the lighting and give it more of a shadow in that one.
Yeah. Also, it's like you can do that in any light. Like you can do it in a dark alleyway and get, you know, you don't have to be like facing the sun and etc. on
cool,
a sunny day.
No, I can definitely see where like the creativity would come in this and like, do you know what I mean, to use it. So what do you think of that, guys? Like I said, that was my first time really. Well, I have used the flash before, but not so kind of prominently, especially not in street photography. So that was quite an experience for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see someone using it for the first time because there is actually quite a bit of a learning curve. But one thing just to keep in mind as well that we noticed was that the flash recycle time. So if you're taking a few shots in a row, the flash takes a while just to recharge again. Apart from that, just adjusting your shutter speeds depending on how far away you are from the person and how you actually hold the flash. Like if you hold it really close to them or far away, can greatly have an impact on how the picture is going to look. Yeah, but overall it's definitely a fun experience. It's really different from natural light. You're going to get a completely different look. So that's one thing that you noticed.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously you're adding quite a lot of extra light in, so it's just controlling that. And also because obviously with light, you know, I mean, I always think when I'm using light in a studio or filming, I really like to kind of, you know, shape the scene with light. I think that's one thing I love, and I love using light a lot. So I think using something like this is just really about kind of shaping the scene with light as well, and like seeing where you can like angle it and where you're coming from. Because obviously if you just hold it like right in front of the camera, you're going to get more of a blowout kind of look. So yeah, trying to create a lot of shape with the light is super interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, because you're shooting on like quite high shutter speeds, most of the ambient light around the person, like anything beyond the distance of the flash, is going to be like greatly reduced or even cut out. So most of that won't come really into the picture that much unless it's a bright day or something. But you're mostly getting the light from the actual flash itself in your portraits. Did you notice that the direction you angle your flash like changed the portrait when you were doing it?
Yeah, massively. Obviously, like I said before, like with the light, it really shapes the picture. So that's just one thing I struggled with because I almost wanted to get like, you know, like create more of a backlight or something like that. Whereas obviously just in my hand, I found it quite hard to kind of create that shape. So that's just something I really kind of struggled with a little bit.
On another plus side, you can use this in any location. You can be like in the dark somewhere. You can be like pretty much anywhere because you're just mostly relying on the flash. So you know you don't have to be like facing the sun in daylight or anything like that. So that's quite handy as well.
Definitely worth trying out, especially if you really love flash and you're using flash a lot. Make sure you get one with high speed sync. You know, because yeah, it's good to have it rather than not have it. Cool. Well, thanks a lot. And once again, please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.